Did you know that Malaysia was named the 8th best place to retire in 2024? And for good reasons too. In today's video, I will cover many benefits to retiring in Malaysia, such as safety, low cost of living, quality healthcare, and so on. Also, make sure to stick around to the end for the latest updates on the MM2H Malaysia My Second Home Visa. Let's talk about Malaysia. It is comprised of two areas of land called the Peninsular, or West, which shares its border with Thailand and is more industrialized. Then there's the east portion of Malaysia. In total, there are 878 islands, so yes, lots and lots of adventures are awaiting. Kuala Lumpur, or KL for short, is the capital of Malaysia. As with bigger cities, prices for things tend to be a bit more expensive, but are still much cheaper than compared to the USA. More to come shortly on costs. If you choose KL as your retirement spot, you'll surely have access to everything you need and want with its gorgeous shopping malls and advanced healthcare infrastructure. Another popular retirement place is Penang. Many refer to it as the food capital of Malaysia. My wife and I loved KL, but Georgetown Penang had a much more laid-back feel. The food was extremely delicious and there was so much to see and do. As for the climate, friends, I think you'll like this. It is tropical with little seasonal variability between months, with a wet and a dry season. And as for its location, in less than 2 hours, you can fly to countries such as Thailand, the Philippines, Cambodia, and so on. So from walking around and taking in the beautiful wall murals, to traversing the lush rainforest, or even scuba diving, there are endless adventures awaiting you in Malaysia. Now let's talk about safety. When retiring abroad, it's important to take into consideration overall safety. Fortunately for you, Malaysia falls into the top 20 safest countries in the world according to the Global Peace Index. The local people tend to be extremely friendly, and the country is well known for their political stability and low crime rates. Now, due to its geographical location, Malaysia is relatively low risk for a direct typhoon hit, unlike other Southeast Asian countries. Here is the average annual natural hazard occurrence from 1980 to 2020, with flooding comprising over half of this pie chart. Still, friends, it's important to make sure you are up to date on all natural disaster procedures regardless of where you live. On to one of, if not the biggest reason for why many people retire in Malaysia: the low cost of living. With the cost of living going up to 4 times cheaper than it is in the US, your dollars will go much further. This was certainly the case when I was in Malaysia. Eating out tends to be very affordable too. For example, I got this delicious chicken curry pasta for 10 Malaysian ringgit, which is just over $2 using the current exchange rate. All of these ice creams are under $1, toothpaste for $1 US, etc. I think you've got the idea here. Rent on average can cost anywhere from around $300 to $400 a month. Of course, this is a range depending on the size of your living space and location. But if you're looking to buy, we can see that in Penang, the average apartment cost can range from 500,000 to 1 million Malaysian ringgit, which translates to about 100 to 200k USD. We can see here that most of these are 2 to 3 bedroom apartments. It's important to note that there are minimums for what you can buy when you have the MM2H Visa. Utilities can range anywhere from $30 to $60. For health insurance, the cost can range from as low as $30 a month, but can be higher based on your needs. Talking about medical costs, a basic medical with a cardiac surgeon costs $50, which isn't unusual. Also, hip replacements on average cost 5k. All in all, depending on your spending and location, a month's cost of living for a single individual could range from around $1,000 a month, but could go up from there to $1,500 or even more depending on your lifestyle. Okay, one of the best aspects to retiring in Malaysia is the affordable quality healthcare. Let's take a look now at the health score or index, which measures things such as access to necessary services, health systems, risk factors, mortality rates, and more. So Malaysia comes in ranked at 77.3, with the US actually ranked behind them at 73.3. In addition to the low cost just barely mentioned for healthcare and medical visits, you can also basically expect no lines for appointments and amazing medical staff to assist you with your health and longevity needs. There are both public and private healthcare options, with public often being 5 to 10 times cheaper than private, but still much more affordable than the US. Remember that it's not just the cost, it's the service that's attractive. Pharmacists, like the rest of Malaysia's medical staff, are well trained and informed. Okay, this has got to be one of my favorites. People people, culture, and food. In Malaysia, you'll experience a rich mix of cultures coming from a range of ethnicities such as Malay, Chinese, Indian, and European, and others as well. You'll never feel bored with all the festivals going on, with about 300 per year. And don't get me started on the food, it's so good. We witnessed an Indian and a Chinese festival when visiting Malaysia. This mix of cultures also translates over to the diverse and delicious foods. My wife and I loved going to the food streets and tried out some of the freshest and yummiest foods. And don't you worry about the heat, because the ice kacang can cool you down. It's a delicious cold dessert with fresh fruit. And as you can see, we got it multiple times. Just remember that doing something new takes time to adjust, such as getting accustomed to different foods. But there are always McDonald's, donut shops, Taco Bell, etc. to help you while adjusting to food if needed. Another perk is that English is widely spoken, especially in the urban areas. To be honest, the people we interacted with were so nice. Plus, one of my great friends is from Malaysia. We were able to see him and he showed us unmatched hospitality. In addition to making new friends with locals, you'll also experience a rich expat community with fellow retirees living it up. Onto technology and comfort. Honestly, I was blown away by how advanced and modern the city of KL is. I mean, just look at these Petronas Twin Towers. So beautiful. The infrastructure is great with many different train options to get around. You'll be able to experience fast-speed internet, go see movies, dine out, the list goes on. Penang is also wonderful and a very popular destination among retired expats. Some reasons include its slower pace of life, rich culture, and vibrant atmosphere. You can of course experience a high quality of life here as well. Let's talk about the MM2H Visa benefits and updates. The Malaysian My Second Home, or MM2H Visa, is a 10-year renewable visa program, which holds many perks for retirees. As just mentioned, the visa is 10 years long and renewable. Your foreign income from overseas is not taxed. You can own a property. There are some conditions though, such as minimum amounts, depending on the state. You can also apply to have a domestic helper. These are just a few of the benefits. Now back in 2021, the requirements for this visa became very restrictive. Monthly income requirements, fees, minimum age, liquid assets, and fixed deposit requirements all changed. The good news here is that the Ministry of Tourism in Malaysia has restructured the MM2H again in December of 2023. Now it is broken up into 3 categories: silver, gold, and platinum. This is such a nice visual representation of what's going on. On the far left column, we can see the different types of requirements. Next to that in the middle is the changes that happened in 2021. And the far right column are the new conditions for this visa. We can see depending on silver, gold, or platinum, the fixed deposit is different. Also visa duration. The age requirement has gone down from 35 to at least 30 years old to apply. Hoping to get an update soon on liquid assets and income, and the required days in Malaysia per year have gone down from 90 days to 60 days. An application plus supporting documents can be submitted at imi.gov.my. Given all of the topics discussed today, would you be interested in retiring in Malaysia? Are there other reasons that I did not touch on in this video? Let me know in the comment section and make sure to give a like and follow for more retired abroad content.